Hi, welcome to the Daily Dose of Dairy Live, Trends in Frozen Desserts 2019. This presentation is made possible by National Flavors, who is exhibiting at Pro Food Tech in Chicago, March 26, 27, and 28, 2019. And that is where this presentation was first made. Please try to stop by their booth, which is number 1126, to learn more about the Flavor Rush flavor sampling program, which was created to give product developers control, convenience, and speed when flavor sourcing during innovation. And hopefully today's presentation will leave you with many ideas for new product development. So let's go ahead and begin. For starters, just a quick background. My name is Donna Berry, and I am a degreed food scientist, and I've been writing about new products, innovation, and ingredient technology for more than 25 years. To give you an idea of how the industry has changed in those 25 years, when I started writing, there was no such thing as a nutrition facts label. Manufacturers were able to pretty much put any type of information they wanted on their label without any control or regulation. There was also no such thing as the Dean's Milk Chug. There was a thing called ice milk. It actually had a standard of identity still. Wells Enterprises, which now is only in the frozen dessert category, was in other dairy categories, including fluid milk and yogurt. Breyers was a yogurt brand owned by Kraft. And Greek yogurt was something that Yaya used to make tzatziki when she was making gyros at home. Ben & Jerry's was actually owned by Ben & Jerry. And frozen novelties like push-ups were loaded with artificial colors that made your mouth and your clothes and even your fingers different colors for multiple days because of all the artificial colors inside of them. And moms and dads did not freak out. We also didn't have to worry about all of these nuts and beans and legumes and grains that are being squeezed and soaked and made into alternatives to our wonderful product called cow's milk. Yet there are opportunities for dairy processors to work with these types of alternative ingredients, and hopefully you'll get some ideas from today's presentation. So let's go ahead and talk about, there are 7 frozen dessert innovation inspirations that I would like to share with you today. The first being locally sourced ingredients, the second culinary influence, third global flavor adventure, fourth seasonal limited edition, fifth health and wellness, sixth sensory inspired, and number 7 snacking mini meals and on-the-go convenience. So let's start with locally sourced ingredients. Companies like this, Snoqualmie, which is in the West Coast, is all about sourcing products from the Pacific Northwest. Everything from its milk to its fruits to the lavender herbs that goes into the infused ice cream products. The company tags on the front of packages the saying handcrafted happiness, and talks about the fact that this is a handcrafted product made with lots of love. Also locally sourced ingredients, you have High Road, which specializes in premium high-fat product. And here you could see it talks about using Kentucky bourbon. And McConnell's, another West Coast ice cream manufacturer, works with growers in the area and will source different fruits and various flavorants from local purveyors. Now, many of these 7 innovation influencers have overlaps one with the other. Many of them have multiple attributes. Here's a good example. Salt and Straw, another West Coast, surprise, surprise, ice cream manufacturer, is all about high-end, chef-inspired formulations. And the company will use specialty ingredients from local suppliers. For example, here you have freckled woodblock chocolate, which is made with bean-to-bar chocolate from Woodblock Chocolate based in Portland, Oregon. There's a honey lavender flavor of ice cream, which uses raw honey from Massey Honey Company in Orange County, California. Another culinary influence manufacturer is Cool House, also on the West Coast. This one here, I mean, is to die for, the balsamic fig and mascarpone ice cream product. Global flavor adventure is something that we're seeing a lot with a heavy Asian influence. Strauss Creamery recently came out with a chai latte, and here you can see black sesame. Mochi ice cream, which are balls of ice cream wrapped in a sweet, soft rice dough, are trending. There's multiple manufacturers selling this product. It's sold in trays, sometimes individually wrapped units, and it is a grab-and-go convenience product as well. This company here, San Bernardo, based in Florida, actually is a heavy supplier to the various cruise lines. And here you can see the Tropical Escapes Global Flavor Adventure line with flavors like Pina Colada and Mamie Magic. The company also has an Italian Escapes line with flavors like cannoli, amaretto praline, Italian cheesecake, and of course there's a tiramisu. Now, seasonal limited edition flavors are very common in ice cream. Grater's has a specialty program where they have a mystery flavor that comes out every time, once a year, around this time of year. And for this particular 2019, we have Maple Cinnamon Crunch. Then a couple years ago, there was a s'mores product. When this flavor actually becomes very popular, they will often make it more of a mainstay product for a while. The company also does teaming up with various local businesses, and here you could see this chunky hippo ice cream was a nod to the zoo. Seasonal limited edition, we also have companies, big brands, small brands, teaming up with, Disney movies, rollouts, or special holidays. In fact, Bluebell Ice Cream had its Mardi Gras King Cake, which it has had around for a couple years, but it had been only in limited distribution, primarily in New Orleans and surrounding areas where Mardi Gras is obviously the talk of the time. But now this product was available through all of Bluebell's distribution. And well, now that Mardi Gras is over, it's gone as well. Perry's did some fun ice cream flavors for Valentine's. A year or two ago, they had Bad Breakup, which was the perfect indulgence for that time of year where you might want to have something a little sweet in your life. But this year, they also rolled out Berry Into You, which really was a great way to come on over to your special person's house. Instead of wasting money on an overpriced dozen roses, you could bring a pint of Berry Into You ice cream. Meijer, a retailer in based out of Michigan and with stores throughout some of the Midwest, just came out with these 3 limited edition flavors and is doing a very heavy promotion in store and on its sales papers. But this here happens to be my favorite seasonal limited edition concept. Tasty. If you are a Facebook person, you probably see these pop-ups often in your Facebook feed. Tasty does innovative recipes, creative kitchen ideas, all kinds of fun things to do in the kitchen and with food. And now the company has teamed up with an ice cream manufacturer and has rolled out 4 limited edition only flavors. This is it. There's no mainstay line for this product. It's just 4 flavors that's out for about the first 4 or 5 months of the year, and the company plans to do this 3 times in 2019, with each rollout being 4 flavors. So when those 4 flavors are done, you have to wait for the next ones. And that's the key about seasonal and limited edition. It really creates this urgency to purchase because you know that it's only been produced in certain amounts and that eventually it will run out and you want to try it. So when you see it at the store, you dip into your pockets and buy it and explore these different flavors. Again, it creates this urgency to purchase. So moving on to health and wellness. You can't talk health and wellness in ice cream without talking about protein, which is something that has been going on for quite a few years now. And the last year or two, there were way too many players in this space, every private label, every retailer had its own product, and many brands and SKUs in this space. And while it sells and it does have a very strong following, it's not what most people go to the ice cream freezer for. So we are starting to see this year a few of the brands, falling out of the freezer, and kind of closing up shop. We also are seeing some brands trying to further differentiate by having some of these other attributes in them, maybe a little bit more culinary inspired or locally sourced ingredients or better health and wellness attributes or more. For example, here, this Culture Republic product, this is actually a probiotics ice cream. This is not actually a high protein ice cream, but it is a health and wellness product with probiotics in it and culinary inspired, very artistic recipes or flavors that you can find in this line. Peekaboo is a brand that hides vegetables in the product. So you're getting a serving of vegetables in every scoop. And then Night Food ice cream is a high protein ice cream specially formulated with ingredients to help you rest, relax, and fall asleep just a little bit easier. Lactose-free is trending in the ice cream category as well. Here is Beckon ice cream. The whole idea behind the Beckon brand was to keep consumers eating real dairy ice cream if the only reason why they were leaving the category was because of lactose intolerance or simply a sensitivity. Crema Smart over here is also a lactose-free ice cream, which happens to be loaded with other good-for-you ingredients, including prebiotics, probiotics, and protein. But probably the biggest trend right now in health and wellness in the ice cream category happens to be the super high fat, some protein, and virtually no added sugars ice creams. These are products designed for the keto diet. And with high fat is the dominating feature of the keto diet. And of course, fat is delicious in ice cream. So it really happens to be a great fit for frozen desserts and actually for dairy overall. Here you see a couple products, but there are quite a few more in the market, and from what I hear, more to come. And you can't talk health and wellness without talking about the fact that non-dairy frozen desserts are a growing sector of the freezer. What is pretty interesting is how many dairy brands now offer a non-dairy product. And part of the attraction here is that many consumers, many shoppers feel devoted to a dairy brand. And let's just take Ben & Jerry's as an example. I mean, Ben & Jerry's has been around for a long time. Most people have a very good relationship with the brand. They also feel like if the name Ben & Jerry's is on that pint, they can trust it. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be made with the highest quality, best ingredients. And so therefore, if they are choosing to also have a non-dairy product in their life, maybe it's for a household member, maybe it's for themselves just because they want to reduce the consumption of dairy, or they're trying to increase their plant food intake. But nevertheless, they'll gravitate to a brand that they're familiar with and they have a relationship with. And that's why you're seeing so many dairy brands now offer a dairy-free alternative. Then sensory inspired, that is another innovation concept. So Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry's both have been very big with large inclusions and different textures in their products. You may recall that Ben & Jerry's actually has a line called Core, where the pint has this core of goop in the middle. It could be a caramel, it could be a chocolate fudge. It's a little bit about what you're seeing here in this Edie's product, which is a larger container, and you could see it has 3 different cores of interactive ingredients where you have a different texture in your mouth and when you're consuming it. And Talenti, which has really made a name for itself with its clear glass jars, now has this layered product which conveys to the consumer what it is that they're going to be eating and actually creates this anticipation of a crunch or a sauce or whatever it might be by visually communicating it through the package. Again, sensory inspired, novelties here. These are new from Nestle, and these are drumstick products with a goopy center and a crunch around the outside. Some of these aren't that new, but the fact that they've expanded in with more flavors, with these candy flavors. The Kit Kat product has really tried to mimic what the taste of the Kit Kat candy bar is. So again, by this co-branding with the candy name, it creates this thought, this sensation of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be having a frozen Kit Kat ice cream. Oh, and then this is my favorite sensory inspired product, the Magnum Pints. Now, if you're familiar with the Magnum ice cream bar, which is the original format for the Magnum brand, it's ice cream enrobed in a delicious, crunchy chocolate. So when you bite into it, it crackles, and there's a lot of it. So this pint product, which is around for a couple years, but they recently added more flavors to it. It's a flexible plastic package, which on the inside is coated with this indulgent chocolate. And so when you're ready to eat it, you're supposed to squeeze the container, and that chocolate in the inside will break up, and then when you scoop, you'll get these large chunks of the chocolate in it, much like you would get when you bite into one of the bars. So the last innovation inspiration is this snacking mini meal on the go convenience. And one of the things that is happening with all of those high protein ice creams that were in pints, where the pints were being promoted as, one pint contains, 260 calories and 20 grams of protein. Well, maybe you don't want to eat a whole pint. I mean, sometimes that just gets a little overwhelming. That's a lot of ice cream, regardless of the calorie or protein content. So here you can see Halo Top has now made little pops of high protein, or a good source of protein, I guess, ice cream pops. And Yasso, Greek yogurt brand, has now small little snack buddies, what they're calling them. 45 calories each. They are made with Greek yogurt, so they also have the added value of having live and active cultures, and they claim to be less sugar than similar ice cream products. And then Wells Blue Bunny. Oh, just love these bunny snacks. They've been around for a few years, but they do keep adding flavors to the line. And these are individually wrapped, handheld ice cream snacks with a cookie bottom. And they are perfect for on the go, much like you might grab a granola bar or a protein bar in the car when you're rushing out to get to, your child's baseball game. You can now grab a bunny snack if you're craving something a little sweet and a little more indulgent. And these loaded sundae cups, well, these are anything but healthy for you, but they are super indulgent and convenient. They're single serve cups loaded with goops and gops and crunchies. You name it, it's in there, and they are great, and they're convenient. Turkey Hill has these Decadent Delights, which are also convenient single-serve cups of ice cream loaded with real fruit, like identifiable pieces of fruit, and then whipped cream on top, and then usually even a garnish. They almost visually look more like a parfait, like a pudding-type parfait with fruit, but they are frozen, and they're a little bit better for you and a little bit more delicious and decadent. And last but not least, let's end with something for our furry friends. Yes, ice cream is a thing for dogs, and both of these are new products. The Boss Dog product on the is a Greek-style frozen yogurt cup product. This flavor here is real cheddar and bacon. And these Good Dog frozen treats look like ice cream bars, but whereas humans usually have a stick in their ice cream bar, this happens to be a edible biscuit, with the rest of it being frozen yogurt. And the flavors here are peanut butter bark and belly rub bacon and banana. So what are the key takeaways from today? Keep the consumer engaged with flavor and texture. Promote the source and certification of ingredients. Describe your unique craft process. More bang for the calorie. This might be value-added nutrition in terms of protein, probiotics, fiber, whole fruit. And then Snackify ice cream. Make it convenient in single-serve packages, smaller portions for grab and go. So thank you very much. Again, if you are at Pro Food Tech, please take the time to visit National Flavors at booth 1126. You can also click on the link in this presentation, and you can explore their website to learn more about Flavor Rush. Thank you.